What if we bridge two realities between Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, which I think is already slowly happening, not as a full scale merger, but you are seeing some ideas or concepts from Dragon Ball GT that I think miraculously or quote unquote mysteriously have found their way into Dragon Ball Super, and I don't think that's by coincidence. I have a couple of points I want to get out to you guys. Feel free to let me know yours in the comments section below, whether you agree or disagree. I think the canon conundrum obviously creates a multiverse of missed opportunities. Okay, with the lingering GT versus Super, which is better, if either or are better, it kind of limits the storytelling, and I think bridging those two together would actually open up the possibilities we could then touch upon with more fan theories, a unified timeline, because that's essentially what Dragon Ball is doing anyways, right? So why not just take both of those universes and find a way to merge them together, even if we're talking about different timelines when it comes to what happened in Dragon Ball GT compared to what happened in Dragon Ball Super. Let's look at the narrative synergy and the elevating stakes and character arcs. How Dragon Ball GT's emotional weight, which features characters, of course, like Baby Vegeta and Omega Shenron, would I think ground, in a way, Dragon Ball Super's cosmic scaling, okay? It would showcase more potential character developments. Okay, we get to see more of Vegeta's family loyalty, that kind of clashing with the ultra ego side of what Vegeta has become in Dragon Ball Super. And then you looked at a different version of Gohan in Dragon Ball GT compared to the Gohan that we see in Dragon Ball Super. Those are just two examples of how I think the characters are going to differ, and how that merged universe, I think, allows Vegeta to tap into maybe a different level of his ultra ego strength, or in this case Gohan to unlock further limits beyond what the Elder Kai has helped him unlock. I think that's what the merger would allow for. And of course, this power scaling, I don't know if it's a paradise if you're a power scaler, or if it makes things even worse, because then you talk about integrating Super Saiyan 4 with Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan God and Ultra Instinct, right? You have that thing essentially already being more or less kind of a talking point from Dragon Ball Daima. Some people saying, oh, it's not canon, it doesn't count, doesn't count. I'm like, Akira Toriyama made the show for what I think it's worth. I would consider it canon, even if it's happening at a different point in the timeline, even if it predates where we currently are. That's just my thoughts. And you can obviously look at how even some maybe forgotten techniques or characters from Dragon Ball GT could actually find new relevance in a merger if they're combined with the opportunities that I think Dragon Ball Super's multiverse allows. So when it comes to defining which is stronger between Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super, I can't really answer. I think I personally enjoy Dragon Ball GT better. I'm rewatching it as of now. I've been rewatching Super. For one, Super is just hard to watch for the awful animation for most of that series, but the storytelling in GT still felt like there were real consequences and stakes for things. In Dragon Ball Super, outside of a couple of arcs when you're dealing with main villains like Zamasu, Goku Black, or something like that, I'm not really sensing the severity of consequences in Dragon Ball Super, because you see what's happened. It looks like everything can be redone. They have Dragon Balls now that can essentially wish for anything. So when it comes to kind of tying up loose ends when it comes to both Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT, I think the merger would allow for that to happen in a natural, more long-term storytelling way, as opposed to what Dragon Ball Super did, trying to cram everything within 130 episodes of an anime and call it, oh yeah, the new beginning of Dragon Ball. Obviously it was, but I think all of us could say Dragon Ball Super should have been better done, and I really wish Toriyama was in a position to have more influence, because I think Dragon Ball Super felt more like a Toei product compared to what Toriyama has shown us in his personal work. So when you look at the future of Dragon Ball wrapping up, this unified legacy, I think, would go beyond fan service. It would revitalize the franchise in a way. It would obviously be good, I think, for a new generation of Dragon Ball fans, and it would allow, again, the creative freedom and renewed storytelling for new things to come about that we haven't seen still in Dragon Ball Super, or we never quite saw in Dragon Ball GT. You guys feel free to let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below if you would like to do so. We'll take it from there. As always, appreciate love and support on the channel. Make sure to subscribe. Almost, I think, at 2,100 here, so we're about 2K plus. Keep grinding. Let's just keep getting these topics, these ideas out. Some of you guys are kind of giving me good ideas in your comments, so continue to drop those. As always, stay tough, stay strong, and stay in the fight. I'm there with you all the way. I'll see you later. Goodbye.